new moon in Libra. So sometimes there are moments in life when we kind of keep doing the work very quietly and faithfully and very sincerely, but still it's almost like nothing seems to move. So I think we all have faced such situations in life, and probably we are there even now. So this particular new moon in Libra, which falls in Chitra Nakshatra, kind of indicates directly to these kind of moments. So, and primarily because Venus is there in Virgo, right? Because Venus is the ruler of this new moon, and Venus is debilitated in Virgo. So, if you want to get more information about Venus in Virgo, I'd recommend you to go back and check my video that I did for Venus in Virgo last week. So, the Chitra is the nakshatra of divine architect, the celestial architect, which is ruled by Twastar. And it's all about taking shape, right? So somehow something kind of comes and says to us, like, something is taking shape. So do not lose heart now, not at this point of time. So the work that we have been doing while Venus remains in Virgo is still kind of very much a work in progress, and something we began some time ago, which could be a project or a relationship or maybe a healing process, because Venus in Virgo can also indicate healing, and all this is kind of taking form. And this new moon is basically the trigger point. The new moon in Libra is basically the trigger point for all of those effort to kind of take some kind of shape or form. And you may notice very small, almost hidden signs that point to this kind of whatever is coming. And even if it doesn't look complete yet, I think please trust that this is basically taking shape. And there are kind of quiet moments or phases where the foundation becomes strong. And if we kind of hold on to one particular word, as a keyword. So I'll be giving 5 keywords through this video. And keyword number 1 is patience. So hold on to patience at this point, and the kind of patience that allows life to build itself by understanding the patterns that is kind of unfolding around us. And patience does not mean kind of waiting idly. So it's like we still make progress. So it is standing steady while doing the while the progress is still happening, but still the real work or whatever is unfolding is very invisible, but still continues. So remember Lord of the Rings. I always kind of like relating to Lord of the Rings. Like Frodo and Sam did not know how long their road would be when they set out from the Shire with the ring. So initially they only thought they would go to Rivendell or Imladris, but eventually kind of it did not stop there. So they did not know if they would ever return home, but they kept walking very, very quietly. Just the camaraderie is taking them forward, and they're very faithful because somewhere deep down, I think they trusted that the journey itself mattered. So, like that, whatever you're doing, like at this point in your life, like the journey that you are embarking upon matters. And that is something that you need to kind of hold on to very dearly. And remember, Peregrine Took asked Gandalf when they were staying in Gondor if Frodo and Sam ever had any hope. For which Gandalf replied, "There never was much hope. It was only a fool's hope." I'm not asking you to kind of progress based on fool's hope, but I think there is a lot of promise. There is something that is taking shape behind the scenes. Again, going back to the same language of Lord of the Rings, there are things that are being set into motion that can not be undone now. So you have already set something into motion, and you cannot undo it. You have to kind of reap the rewards of it. So just hold on and witness as something is kind of taking shape. And just like the LOTR reference, I think we are kind of in a similar situation, but trusting the process is the key. I think we need to kind of have faith. And this is what this new moon helps us understand, like to keep showing up even when the results are invisible. And it is natural for anything to be invisible. Just show up. Do not worry, even if the results are not visible. So Chitra reminds us that creation happens through uh, attention and care. So to kind of build something, we need to kind of care for it, and we need to pay enough attention that it deserves. And that is the kind of thing we need to be doing now. It's the artist shaping from formlessness to kind of bringing the form, the builder polishing stone until beauty reveals itself. Remember the sculpture example I mentioned in Venus in Virgo. So there is no need to announce, like it's something that we need to be doing behind the scenes, right? New moon, the moon is dark, we need not announce anything. It is important for us to kind of stay in the process and keep things within ourselves, and not to kind of explicitly say something outside. Just do it with devotion and enough attention and care. Again, Tolkien has had a huge impact in my life. So in Hobbit, Bilbo never set out to be a hero. Remember, Thorin Oakenshield was supposed to be the hero, but eventually, kind of Bilbo also was playing a parallel heroic role or something like that. But he simply took one brave step after another, doing whatever was needed at that particular point in time. And that courage within the quietness, you know, uh, and there is also this another important thing, right? Courage is not about not having fear, but courage is about hiding fear and still kind of doing whatever that needs to be done. And that's something that we need to kind of remember. Enjoy the chaos and be courageous enough to kind of do something that is slowly taking shape, even if you don't see, but just go with faith and trust. And that brings us to the keyword number 2, which is discipline, the act of showing up for what really matters. And what matters is whatever you are doing at this point in time. So, and that really matters. And to kind of get where you want to get, you need discipline. So discipline is not about kind of feeling pressurized, and discipline is not about perfection. Discipline is about showing up. So it's about giving your honest effort or energy to whatever deserves it. And right now, the astrology itself kind of encourages that, like to focus on what is real and what is in your hands, and to kind of keep building it with care without losing faith. And even if no one else sees it, the universe is seeing it, right? And that is what really matters. So when Venus moves into Libra, which is early in November, on November 1st, the fruits of these small efforts and consistent actions will start showing up, right? And that is what we are waiting for, and that is worth waiting for. And for now, this new moon kind of asks you to stay with the work, be in the process, take the course, stay with your practice, or kind of believe that what you're doing is the truth. And remember, Libra is also the sign of harmony, and this new moon basically helps us bring balance, which is the keyword number 3, that is balance, right? Especially in relationships, it's time to kind of look at where things have kind of been a little wavered in the directions that we did not want. And maybe sometimes it's about kind of giving more than you receive, the imbalance, or maybe you've been staying quite like being trying to be conflict free, and staying quite just to kind of keep peace, but you need to question, like, is that real peace? Again, Gandalf asks in Hobbit, when he is with Lord Elrond and Saruman. So he says, "Are we at peace? Is this real peace?" or something like that. So just to kind of, to remain conflict free, we sometimes tend to kind of accept some things that shouldn't be accepted. But now is the time to kind of stop holding back all those emotions because you're just kind of afraid to shake uh, what you think is stable. And this new moon is a very good reset for all these things, but it's a very gentle reset, right? Because it's in Libra, and we kind of need to understand that peace built on silence is basically fragile, and it can kind of it can basically kind of crumble at any point in time. But still, peace built on honesty is basically very good. It is long lasting because it is built on listening and understanding, right? So this is a time to have honest, open, and maybe fair conversations, not out of anger but out of care. So it's a time to recognize your own role in terms of whatever is unfolding, and before you speak, it's important to kind of pause and just kind of ask, like, what are you doing in that particular situation, or what is your contribution? So the moment the moment you start kind of having this self-reflective thought process, I think it really creates balance, because that is when you're really turning what could potentially be a conversation into a dialogue, and transforming it into understanding. So true balance really does not come from pleasing others, but trying to find ways to communicate or deliver whatever you have been feeling in the most honest way. And it comes from mutual respect, like from two people meeting in the middle and trying to have a conversation with open heart. And if you're not kind of having a person in your life who's not willing to listen, then it's an entirely different story. But this is the case about who is willing to listen and trying to kind of pay attention with mutual respect to the other person, basically who is willing to listen, right? So, and remember, this new moon also forms a square with Jupiter, which is in Cancer, early Cancer, creating a very powerful tension or friction. And this is where we bring in the fourth keyword, and that is wisdom. It's not the kind we read in books, but the kind that life teaches us through experiences, or maybe even conflict or friction. So when the moon and Jupiter kind of connect, there is both inspiration and also restlessness, and there is a tendency to kind of dream bigger than what we can immediately achieve. So we may kind of uh, uh, you know uh, try to move faster than what the reality kind of indicates. But square, and that is basically the Gajakesari yoga, when Jupiter is placed in an angle from the moon. Square is not necessarily about the conflict, or but it is about the growth that really doesn't need to rush, right? So sometimes delay itself is a good thing, or the slight course correction or shift in mindset or something that kind of questions us is actually a good way to stop and take a self-reflective stance, or to just see where we are. And this aspect kind of helps us to see the difference between faith and also I don't want to say fantasy, but something that is not in line with reality, between what is possible now and and what is something that will materialize or mature later. So, and for this we need to kind of have some kind of a moderation, like to kind of be practical and embrace pragmatism, which helps us to stay grounded. Like, we can hope, but the hope should be grounded. There shouldn't be this overconfidence or something like that. So wisdom here means kind of two things. Like, one is that the things are not yet where we want them to be, and yet kind of they're slowly unfolding exactly the way they should, right? Because we have been putting in the work, and we all are kind of headed towards our own directions on our own path. So and when we can rest inside, that kind of an understanding, like we have this silent, quiet understanding that something is unfolding, we can basically kind of stop fighting. right? And try to kind of start flowing with it, try to accept whatever is coming your way. So the two dimensions here is that realizing that we are not where we actually, I mean, we are not yet there where we should be. And on the other hand, it's the understanding that at some point we are kind of going there because something is taking shape that will kind of lead us to some a particular point. And this kind of brings us to faith, the next keyword, right? And faith allows us to keep moving even when things are blurry, right? During the new moon, it's dark, the moon is dark, so the visibility is not as much as we would like. And therefore we always need to pay attention for a few more days after the new moon. And faith that holds us steady is something that you know uh, it kind of will take us forward when we still kind of can't see much yet, because we are still kind of having only faith or trust, but and smaller hints of what is taking shape, but not really something that kind of gives us conviction, right? So this new moon in Libra, especially in Chitra, reminds us that creation basically begins in the dark. And imagine a baby, like baby is formed in the dark, in the quiet, so in silence. So the new moon basically kind of the moon basically disappears before it shines again, and we need to kind of give that time for the moon to shine again, and therefore the clarity will emerge. So faith in having done the work, and we are just kind of still continuing to do what good work that we have done so far, but still kind of trusting that what is invisible now is not lost, but it is just the silent preparation that's going on behind the scenes, is something that we need to kind of call as faith. So, and again, if you think of Frodo and Sam, like when they're climbing this Mount Doom towards the end of the story, and Sam says, I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you," and that's faith, right? So that is faith. So it's the strength to kind of keep going when the mind really has no proof. So mind needs some kind of a rational, and that is not available at this point. But what we all have is only heart. And remember, during the new moon, both Mercury and the moon are in the same sign, which pretty much means that there is this conjunction of heart and mind. What mind cannot see, sometimes heart feels, and we need to trust that inner feeling that we have. So believe that as we move forward, and Mars will enter Scorpio, and Venus will come back home to Libra, and momentum will pick up, and things that felt uncertain will start to move. And but for now, I think your task is very simple. Have faith. Faith that your work will bear fruit. Faith that your relationships can find harmony. I think faith that life, even if it is silent, somehow it is listening, right? So, and that is what the universe is basically kind of listening to you. So, coming back to the 5 keywords that I wanted to give you, hopefully I'll give in every video, but patience, discipline, balance, wisdom, and faith, right? I think coming together, they all describe this journey of this new moon for all of us. Patience is basically to kind of let things unfold. Discipline is keep showing up no matter what, and then balance is to kind of to restore this inner peace and have this uh, trust in the process. And then wisdom is to know that what is real, like we know that we are still not where we actually should be, and it takes a little bit of work. And faith is to kind of keep moving on regardless of the fact that we don't see the exact thing that is taking shape. And it's not that you need to be very loud with your action and show off everywhere, but it is about having this quiet trust in under the new moon, right? So new moon is dark, so no need to show off to anyone. Just have this quiet trust. Something wonderful is being built, which is not outside you, but it is through you. So and then again, you need to kind of understand and have faith in yourself. Kind of staying steady, keeping your heart open. The farm is taking shape even if you can't see it yet. And that brings us towards the end of the video, and I'll see you in another one.